Hey, welcome to the show, and make sure that you like and subscribe Adam Wilde and Jax on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. And Jax, we're just going to get right into it today because, this show is a little bit about pop culture, a little bit about life. It's, it's going to be the person that I think fascinates most of the world because nobody's really sure what her deal is. It's JoJo Siwa.
Okay, that was a hot intro. Right from an intro into JoJo, you know how to capture a lesbian, Adam Wilde. What's going on?
Listen, I've already captured one on this podcast. I just want to capture the whole world.
True.
But no, I wanted to ask you about this. So JoJo Siwa took over TikTok this weekend, and she was hilarious because, she's singing Bette Davis Eyes, an old Kim Carnes song from the 1980s.
Yep.
A real classic, a great song. And I think it shocked a lot of people. There's been a lot of things going on with JoJo Siwa that I think are sort of reflective of what's going on in culture as a whole. So a year ago, JoJo Siwa was in her Karma's a Bitch era.
Yep,
and she was sort of dressing like a member of Kiss, like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, with the star face and the black and silver boots and all that, and was talking about her sexuality and that she was gay or pansexual. But then she says she was forced to say she was a lesbian. She is now on the other end of it, dating a man, nothing wrong with that, and releasing this song that it comes across as like a little conservative that goes with how things are going now. And I'm curious to know, first off, what do you think of the cover itself? And then second, what do you think is going on with JoJo Siwa? Because this is somebody I know, Jack, you've been obsessed with forever.
Okay, let's not use, I'm not obsessed. I'm keeping a watchful hawk eye on her comings and goings over the past, I would say 3 to 5 years, because I'm fascinated. I'm absolutely fascinated. And mostly because she's a chameleon of some sorts. And I don't think it's because she wants to fit into the spaces. I just think she can change, looks and styles and aesthetic at the drop of a dime. I think that's the saying. But I have to be, and I want to be very clear on this because, I think that, on one hand, JoJo is a public person, has been for years. Yep. And some can make the argument, well, hey, she's putting herself out there, so she's asking for these comments. But if I had the amount of exposure that she does when I was a young queer, I don't think I would be here because I was a mess. And I was a mess. And you're finding yourself, she's young, she's been in the spotlight. She's been monetarily taking care of her family for a decade. So I think she has an immense amount of pressure. And I think that we should give her a little bit more slack, but also JoJo, where's your PR team, my honey? Because I want to give you the grace. I want to give you the love, but this Bette Davis cover is it's like Miley Cyrus is underground, even deeper underground, it's just singing from a mine, and it's very hoarse. And I think that she should enjoy her money for a minute and rest up. That's what I think. I love her.
If you don't know JoJo, she was a dancer on 2 seasons of the reality show Dance Moms with her mom, Jessalyn Siwa. And actually, JoJo's been extraordinarily successful. Obviously, you've probably been aware of her, but, she made Time's list of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2020. In the world, the entire flippin' world, which is amazing. She was signed to Nickelodeon, did a bunch of shows for them. And has obviously released some music. And I think, it's interesting, Jax, because you talk about how she sounds like she's in a mine. Kim Carnes posted about the Bette Davis Eyes cover this weekend, and sort of gave her a little bit of shade. She said, there is a difference between singing a song and embodying it. I've always believed authenticity is what makes music timeless. I'm forever grateful to be the voice in this one, Bette Davis Eyes. And then she has since deleted it. So that's the ultimate shade because, Kim Carnes, she might be in her 50s or 60s or something right now, but that's how the kids do it. They insult you and then they delete the post. But the other side of it is it's unprecedented success. She debuted at #1 on global Spotify with 9.15 million streams of this song.
Right, but there's a difference between curiosity listens and passion listens, right? It's like, what is this? Or I love this. I also have to say that I didn't realize because, well, first of all, Kim in that statement, there was some ownership, like as the original, like I am the singer of this song, which I kind of love. That's salty. Also, she's 79 years old, which I didn't realize. She looks great. Girl looks fantastic.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, but no, it's like, sure, she has 40 trillion streams on the song, but is it because people want to hear it in a good way or a bad way, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, and I'm like, could there really be 9.15 million streams that are just curiosity? And I think the way the internet goes, that's actually... Yeah, of course there could be, right? Like there's so many people in the world. And you know, as much as they'll look at that as a ringing success, like what's week 2 look like on that song, right? Does it last the week?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the era we're in right now, which is sort of nuts. And I want to talk to you about this a little bit because you being gay is
Get it. I just
you
love
are
that, love that statement.
I mean, you said so. We just you're in Pride Month in Nova Scotia. We had some Pride Month here in Ontario and in June and lots of places around the world. And you know, one of the things that I think the community sometimes gets annoyed by is how they're marketed to or how their culture. LGBTQ plus.
Sometimes I can't say it either, my love. Don't take it too hard. Don't worry.
I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me off the hook. You know, sometimes the way that your culture can be co-opted to sell things. And so, like, you know, when Madonna did Vogue, she was bringing trans culture to the fore, right? It was something that she was bringing and was celebrated for that. But, you know, occasionally at Pride, you'll see like that beer ad where it'll be like, hey, come drink this beer because it's gay. You know what I mean?
Hey, gays, come have some beer. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was curious, like when she last year, it's very, I'm gay. I'm living my truth, that sort of thing. And this year, dating a different guy, sort of coming across, some people are calling it trad wifey. Does that irk you at all? Or is that just the various parts of someone's personality and you got to let them figure themselves out?
Well, that's the thing. And maybe, you know, because like there's queer baiting, there's all these very, very real things and problematic things. And maybe I'm not the best example, but JoJo or no celebrity, I don't think really speaks for, I guess, my identity or my community. And also, maybe I'm different. I can't be bothered and let her do what she has to do. It's like, it's also kind of, if we want equality, this is just as messy as the straights. Cause look at straight celebrity culture. Like everybody's a mess most of the time. Right. So that's the thing is if we want equality, we have to have a messy JoJo, but I don't, that being said, I also don't want, queerness to be viewed as a convenient fad or a convenient identity or something used to sell, like a model, a vehicle to sell things. But also sexuality has been used as a vehicle to sell things. You know what I mean? So it's I'm of two minds on it. I also just think, this is going to sound very Jackson, very naive and vanilla, but like, I think we also can just be a little bit nicer to each other. And sure, she's putting herself out there. So we do have, a bit more slack to make fun of her, but also we don't have to rip people apart when they're putting out art on the internet. And if you don't like that art, yes, sure. But we can also just be a little bit nice to each other. She's what, 21? How old's JoJo?
Yeah. Like people forget that she's really young.
She's a kid. And that's the thing is, like I said, if people were able to put comments on my early 20s, oh my dear God, it would be bad. And I deserve it. It was messy Bessie, okay? It was messy.
What would they have been saying, Jax?
Well, I was just they would have just been saying, get some rest. Get some rest.
Were you up late?
Well, it's just like get some rest physically and emotionally. I'm in Halifax right now, and I'm like walking down the streets. I'm like, my God, I was eating pizza that I can't remember on that corner, and I was having a fight with this girlfriend on that corner. And it's like, I don't know, those are your early 20s. And that being said, like the same girlfriend that I was probably fighting with, I'm actually going to have lunch with today. So it's like, there's room for repair, there's room for healing, but we don't, but that's the thing. She is putting herself out there, but we don't have to be like, she is scum and a monster and should die. Like, she's covering a song. I don't like the cover. You probably don't either. And that's okay. At 24 hours max, there's going to be new news, right? That's the thing. Let's go easier on each other.